guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how you can build your awareness in Valorant. This is a topic I actually have never talked about, yet it is something that you really need to build. It's something that people probably don't really think about, because awareness is kind of subconscious, and it's kind of like you know or you don't know about, like, so we can go and talk about what awareness is. Awareness is kind of like you knowing where enemy players are and what enemy players are going to be doing, right? So like that's awareness. At least in the context of Valorant. So I'm gonna run you guys through a few different scenarios where you might be able to like really think about what you should be being aware of and how you can improve your awareness. You can also call this like consciousness of where enemies are. So let's talk about retaking here on B-Site. So let's say we're defending and we're coming from A. So basically at this point low ranked players will kind of just walk in here and kind of like not really expecting much to happen, but really as soon as you're exposed here, you need to be expecting someone here. It's not about like, yeah, there might be a low chance of someone being right here, but it's being aware that there's a small chance that there can be someone there that matters. So, if you neglect putting your crosshair there, then, that's already -1 for you. Because you could potentially die from here, and you probably will if you continue not to put your crosshair here and expect someone to be there. So being aware also means thinking, okay, is it even possible for an enemy to be here? So for example, if my teammate's B main, and so let's say it's a 2v2, my teammate's B main, the spike just was planted B, and then my teammate knows the other one's B main. So I know there's one on site, and I know there's one B main. That means I know that there can't be one anywhere here, right? Like anywhere in this whole area. So all I need to worry about is B main and site, right? So that's awareness. Like a lot of low ranked players would be like, okay, there's one B main, there's one site, but then they're still being extra cautious for all these spots, and like logs, market, like back here they might even be looking. That might be like really low ranks, but still. So like if we go ahead and go to B main and consider attacking, so awareness is another way you can think of this is catching on to patterns. So for example, if your team starts B main 2 rounds in a row and the enemy Reyna peeks here twice, so you go like this, you see her here, you die here, then you come again, you peek her again, you die again. So if you come here again the 3rd round and you peek, there's no one, then you should be aware that Reyna probably is not playing B, because for one, Reyna has been playing very, very aggressive. I would consider this a very aggressive play, and she's not doing it again, so you should think, okay, she's probably pushing mid or pushing A main. At least that's what I would think. So like, it doesn't matter if you instantly think that she'll be pushing mid or A main, because that's most likely where she'll be, or cat. But it just matters that you realize she's probably not B, because like Reyna sitting on back site is is very unlikely, considering that she's been doing this aggressive play 2 rounds in a row. So that is another way, like catching on to patterns. Another thing is, so like say Killjoy has been set up on B every time you guys have came B, like, and the turret is usually up here. So you guys, you do the normal clearing, you clear everything that you should be, and then you realize there's no turret here. Well, if there's no turret, you can't hear the turret on site, you can't hear the turret in market, then there's a good chance that she probably is playing A this round. So you should say, all right, team, Killjoy is not B. Let's go A. That's awareness. That's awareness at its simplest form in Valorant, I would say. Obviously, I've had games where I've been aware of like wherever you can track literally the location of like every single player on the enemy team, and this is just a skill that you build. So like, once you play a few rounds, you'll be getting an idea of how the enemy team you're currently against plays. So like, okay, they have a jett, they have 2 sentinels, so obviously whichever sentinel is B is probably going to stay B, whichever sentinel is A is probably going to stay A. That's just kind of how it works, and except for maybe in the highest rank of play where they like swap in, solo queue, so that Killjoy can ult a certain site, but we're not going to talk about that. And knowing that duelists generally are going to play more aggressive and are going to play more like rotate more, especially on defense. So, and this also applies on defense, right? Like I've been talking about attack this whole time. So being aware of where the enemies are going to push, so you can think of it like, I said, okay, they push, I was going B 2 rounds, so here instead of for defending A for 1 round, we're waiting here, we hear them, we hear a lot, we say, okay, team A main, they come out, we kill 3, right, we kill 3, we get out, and then we win the round, eventually we kill the other 2, the next round, you should predict that they're most likely not going to go A, just like they did, because, you know, they got destroyed, quite frankly. If you killed 3 A main and you got out, then they're really not happy about that. They're really going to try to avoid you. The lower the rank you go, the more likely this is to happen, unless someone's actually, you know, consciously saying, let's go A again to fight this Jett. So what we can either do in this scenario is be aware that they're probably not going to go A, and being aware of that means you can just go B and do the same thing B main, or you can come A and fast flank, so like gun out, full run, and expecting nobody. Make sure you clear all the corners and everything. Basically, once you get up to here, I'll start walking, because there's a good chance they can't be mid. And so this is just being aware of predicting where they're going to be, right? Like, it ties into predicting where they're going to be on defense. On attack, it's also quite prevalent. It's just prevalent in like every part of the game. It's kind of hard to explain every possible scenario that you need to be aware in. You just need to be aware of specifically enemy locations. Also, you can be aware of enemy ultimates. So if you're looking at the top of the screen, you see how I have my ult as Jett. So if you see that the whole enemy team has ults, you could think, okay, they're probably going to go pretty fast to a site. And if they aren't, then they're probably going to be using their ults somewhere this round, because, you know, they have them. They're most likely at least going to be 1 or 2 people that are going to use their ults, if not more. And also when I ult, you see that this up here turns from yellow to like a sort of greenish blue color. That basically means that that person's ulting. So if you see that, like, so for example, if you see a chamber is ulting, you should be aware that you shouldn't peek mid, because that's probably where the chamber's opping. Similarly, if Viper's in her ult, you should probably hear that. If you don't hear it, then, you know, I might be concerned about other aspects of your gameplay, but nonetheless, you should know that there's probably a Viper ulting somewhere, so you're attacking their Viper ulted A. You guys probably want to push B main, you know, something like that. So I could keep listing off scenarios, but basically how you want to improve this is just try to think where are the enemies at every certain point in time. So like where can enemies be right now? So like whenever I'm peeking mid, I'm thinking, okay, they could be on the right side. There's no mid. Okay, they could be right side here. I should probably be careful of right side cat. But I'm not gonna see her for too long. Okay, I should check left and right. Could they be pizza? Yeah, they could be pizza. Okay, no one pizza. Okay, should I push here? Yeah, sure. They could be market. No one market. Okay. Now I'm thinking, okay, I have all of mid control. Now I'm aware that the enemies probably are a little bit scared of market, at least in higher ranks. Because if no one's playing there on accident or for whatever reason, then they're gonna, you know, they're gonna know that there's a chance that I'm pushing up mid. Unless you're in lower ranks, then they probably have no clue. So take advantage of that. Hopefully this is somewhat helpful. I know I'm kind of like all over the place, but hopefully some of the things I'm saying is at least slightly useful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one.